There is a man on your team. Let us call him Marcus. Last Tuesday, a deliverable slipped. Nothing catastrophic, a 2-week delay on a project with 6 contributors. By Thursday morning, 3 different people had used Marcus's name in the same sentence as the word issue. Not Marcus made a mistake, just the Marcus thing, whatever is happening with Marcus. Marcus did not know yet. He still believed he was the person carrying the project. He was. That is precisely why he was selected. This is the scapegoat mechanism. It does not start with a failure. It starts with a slot that needs to be filled before the failure arrives. Every team you have ever worked on has run this mechanism. Most of the time, it does not select you. The times it does, you usually do not see it operating until the meeting where your name is the only one in the room without a defender. Let us walk through how the slot gets filled. The first thing to understand is that a scapegoat is not the worst performer on a team. The worst performer is too obvious. Naming them is uninteresting. It does not preserve anyone's narrative. The scapegoat is the most narratively useful person to blame. That is a different metric entirely. To be narratively useful, you need 4 conditions. You have probably already met them. 1. You are adjacent to the failure, but not central to it. You worked on the project, you were in the meetings, your name appears on the documents, but the decisions that produced the failure were not made by you. This is important. The system does not blame the person who made the call. The person who made the call is usually a level up and has political capital to spend on protecting themselves. The system blames the person nearest to the call who has the least leverage to refuse the blame. 2. You are reliable about absorbing feedback. You say, "I'll take that on board." You say, "You're right, I should have caught that." You do not escalate. You do not loop in a sponsor. You do not put anything in writing in a way that makes the blame harder to move. This is what 15 years of being a professional has trained you to do. You took it as a virtue. The system reads it as availability. 3. You lack a sponsor at the next level up. A sponsor is not a mentor. A mentor gives you advice. A sponsor speaks your name in rooms you are not in and pays a political cost to keep it clean. If you do not have one, you can be named in rooms you are not in without anyone defending the name. That is the actual cost of having no sponsor, not the missed promotions, the undefended mentions. 4. You have been at the company long enough to be a recognized name, but not long enough to be untouchable. This is usually somewhere between year 3 and year 9. Below year 3, you are still being onboarded, and blaming you signals a hiring problem. Above year 9, you have accrued enough institutional memory that blaming you carries a cost. You know things. You know the people who decided things. You can move blame back up the chain if you choose to. In the middle window, you are the optimal candidate. Here is the part nobody warns you about. The slot is filled in advance. The team does not wait for a failure and then ask, "Who do we blame?" The team identifies the person who would absorb the blame most cleanly, and the next time anything goes wrong, that person's name appears in the early conversations. You can watch this happen. The slot filling looks like small social adjustments in the weeks before a project misses its mark. Your manager stops defending you when someone else makes an offhand comment about your work. A peer starts copying you on emails that retroactively put your name on decisions you did not make. You get added to a meeting about a problem you were not previously connected to. Marcus saw all of this and read it as visibility. He thought he was being included. He was being positioned. Here's what we call this. Once you have a name for it, you cannot stop seeing it. A scapegoat is not the person who failed. A scapegoat is the person whose failure is most narratively useful to the team. The failure does not have to be theirs. It only has to be plausibly theirs. That is a much lower bar than you would think. Now consider a second case. There is a director 2 layers above you. Let us call her Priya. 6 months ago, she made a strategic call that her CFO endorsed and her CEO signed off on. 3 months ago, the call started underperforming. Last month, it became the official underperformance the company is discussing on the earnings call. Priya is not the scapegoat. The CFO is not the scapegoat. The CEO is not the scapegoat. 2 layers below Priya, there is a senior manager whose team executed the call. His name has been appearing in the same sentence as execution gap for the last 6 weeks. He has been invited to more skip-level meetings than usual. He has been asked to tell the story of what happened. By the next earnings cycle, he will no longer be at the company. The strategic call will not be reversed. It will simply have been an execution problem at the manager level. That is the scapegoat mechanism operating one level up. The mechanics are identical, only the stakes are larger. Now look at your own situation. You did everything right. You took ownership when things went wrong. You said, "I'll do better," when you were given feedback that was not actually about your performance. You did not push back when you were added to meetings you should not have been in. That made you the optimal candidate. You were not paranoid for noticing that your name is being mentioned in conversations where it should not appear. You were not imagining the small social shifts in how your manager talks about your work. You are reading the system accurately. The slot exists on every team. It is filled before the failure, and the qualities that make you the optimal candidate are the qualities you were rewarded for developing across the first 15 years of your career. This is the scapegoat mechanism. Once you see it, you read meetings differently. You read the CC lines on emails differently. You read your manager's silences differently. You read your own reliability differently, because reliability in this system is not the thing that protects you, it is the thing that nominates you. That is corporate GPS, the map they never handed you.